morning and welcome to our VATSIM tutorial number 2. Now the objective of this session is to look at the ATIS, IFR Clearance, push and start, taxi, takeoff and after takeoff. Today we're at Birmingham Airport and we'll be going to Edinburgh Airport in Scotland. So let's look at the ATIS. So our ATIS from VATSIM for Birmingham Airport shows us the information is D. Just for information, at the time of recording, the information was B for Bravo and then switched to C to Charlie. And it changes every 30 minutes. The runway in use is runway 33. The surface wind is variable at 3 knots and the temperature is 10 degrees. Dew point is 7 degrees and the local pressure in hectopascals is 998. You must acknowledge receipt of information with the air traffic control and you must tell them your aircraft type on first contact. So when calling up for clearance, you're going to need the following items. You're going to need your call sign, your aircraft type, your ATIS information, which you will get from the ATIS, the local QNH, your stand number, and where it is you're going. So let's have a go at calling up for our clearance now. Birmingham Ground, good evening, Union 2064, citation CJ4 with Charlie, QNH 998, stand 8 Charlie, IFR clearance please through to Edinburgh.
Union 2064 Birmingham Ground, clear to Edinburgh, Lotham 1 Mike departure, squawk 4231.
Clear to Edinburgh, Lotham 1 Mike departure, squawk 4231, Union 2064.
Union 2064, correct.
There we go. Now we don't need to call back after that, we have our clearance. So the next thing we now need to do is set up our aircraft for that information. So we will go into our departure and we can see it's runway 33 and it was a Lotham 1 Mike and we can execute that. We now need to input our squawk code, which is 4231, and have that set. That's beautiful. That's all good. Now one thing I'd like to do as well is get my next frequency ready, and the next frequency after Birmingham Ground, because it's top down, is Birmingham Approach, which is 123975. So I will pop that in the standby frequency, ready to swap that over afterwards. So when you're ready to go, the next thing you need to do is call up your air traffic controller and ask for pushback and startup clearance, and we'll do that now. Birmingham Ground, Union 2064, stand 8 Charlie, request pushback and startup clearance.
Union 2064, stand 8, push and start approved, face south.
Push and start approved, face south. Union 2064. Okay, and now we'll push.
Attention please. The captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelt and shoulder harness at this time. Thank you.
Okay, so now that our push is complete, we now need to request our taxi clearance from the ground controller. So we will do that now. It's important to make a note of the instructions he gives us. You can pretty much look at the charts and guess what he's going to do, which should be holding point Echo 1 via Echo from what I can see on the charts, but we'll see what we get. Let's have a quick look. Birmingham ground to Union 2064, request taxi with Charlie.
Union 2064, taxi holding point Echo 1, runway 33 via Echo.
Holding point Echo 1, runway 33 via Echo Union 2064. Doesn't matter if you mix your words up, we're all human, and you'll hear I tripped up on myself and so did the controller, so it's absolutely fine. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll start to taxi, and what will happen as we start to taxi is the controller will pass us over to the next level. Now on this one will be Birmingham approach. There we go.
064, contact correction, Birmingham radar 123.975.
23,975. Thank you for your help. Bye bye now, Union 2064. Now we're going to tell the controller who we are, where we are, and what our intentions are. So for me, we are Union 2064. We're at holding point Echo 1, and we're fully ready to go. Okay, so here we go. Birmingham radar. Good evening. Union 2064 is at holding point Echo 1, fully ready to go.
Union 2064, Birmingham radar. Good evening. By Echo 1, runway 33, clear for takeoff. Surface wind 250 degrees 4 knots.
By Echo 1, clear for takeoff, runway 33, Union 2064. Okay, so the only last thing I need to do in terms of VPilot, now you can either do this on the app, or for me I can do this on here, is to go to mode Charlie, and we spoke about that in tutorial number 1. Speed to light both sides, 70 knots, and we are V1, rotate. Super. Positive rate, gear up. Flaps up, and then we're going to go to climb first. We're going to keep an eye on our altitude. And there we go. Birmingham radar, Union 2064 is just passing 1,200.
Union 2064, thank you. Climb flight level 80.
Climb flight level 80, Union 2064. So there we go. We'll switch on our autopilot now, and we'll dial in 8,000 into our altitude. Okay, we can now go to our standard
Union
pressure.
2064, contact landing control 133. Bye-bye.
Going to London 133.7. Thank you for your help. Good night. Okay, so we'll end the tutorial there. We've covered the ATIS, IFR Clearance, push back and start, taxi, takeoff, and then hand over to Birmingham radar. On the next tutorial, we'll cover the handover to London radar. We'll cover top of descent and approach. Look forward to seeing you then. And thank you for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye.